Hi, I'm Webb, founder and CEO of Flowdrop. We help busy teams spend less time on boring tasks and more time creating. If you can chat, you can build. Welcome to Flowdrop Basic. Let's get you building fast. Today's video will be a tour of the Flowdrop app. We'll start with the AI assistant page. Here you'll be able to describe what you want to automate with the chat and one-shot a workflow that attempts what you asked for. You'll also be able to add a file to the prompt for context so that you can generate a better workflow, or you'll be able to import a workflow from a friend, colleague, or from us at Flowdrop. Now, let's go over the left sidebar. This is the main navigation menu for the whole app and is part of every page. We've already checked out the assistant page. You can press the logo at the top to get there anytime or the assistant button. Next is the dashboard. This page will do after the sidebar. It will give you an overview of all your workflows, their stats, and additional controls. We also have workspaces. You will default to My Workspace, which is your own personal space, and you can easily navigate to teams you're a part of by selecting one here. Right below the workspace drawer, you will find the workflows for the space that you have selected. You can easily navigate to them through here, delete workflows, and search with the conveniently placed bar at the top. At the bottom of the left sidebar, you'll find a button for giving app feedback. We make it super simple. Also, a quick navigation to the billing page if you need any more credits, and an indicator for how many credits your account has remaining. Then there's the button for your profile where you can quickly log out if you'd like. Now we have the dashboard acting as your control center. From here, you can launch new workflows, select and edit existing ones, and have visibility over your selected workspace. We also have a simple drawer at the top for you to flip between workspaces at a click. Next to that drawer is a button for the integrations page, where you can easily manage your connected apps. At the top here, you have your total executions, your number of active workflows, and your number of executions this month. You will notice a dazzling button for making a new workflow. You can generate one with AI or start from scratch. You will also find another import button, as well as a search bar for quickly finding a specific workflow. Each workflow will have an options button with a few dots on the right. On that menu, there is an export button that will copy that workflow to your clipboard for import later or right now, and a button to duplicate the workflow easily, and one to change the limit of credits for that workflow specifically, and then finally a button to delete that workflow if you no longer need it. You will also find a power icon button on the right for activating any workflow. Let's head over to the workflow canvas, which you can access through creating or selecting a workflow from the left sidebar or the dashboard. Here, you can easily click and drag nodes to reposition them. Let's go over the top bar. On the left, you have the workflow selector drawer. You can double click to rename your current workflow or flip to different ones. You will notice another power button to activate your current workflow and a green indicator that is a credit estimate for this workflow. The first pill on your right, you will notice basic camera controls like zoom in and zoom out. Then there's a pill with the hand and selector tools for dragging the canvas versus box selecting multiple nodes. And you will find a checkpoint menu for restoring previous chat to build or manual save checkpoints. This will be followed by the file operations menu. This menu includes a button to import workflow directly to your working canvas, export workflow for copying a workflow to your clipboard for later import by you or someone else, duplicate workflow for quick duplication and changing of the workflow, and lastly a start from scratch button for starting your workflow all over. Okay, finally now the settings menu. At the top you have an integrations page for controlling outside app integrations. Next is the credits page for managing credit limits, purchasing more credits and statistics, and billing page for handling payments and premium plan details. Space for teams in order to handle workspaces and their members, a profile page for your personal details, a support page for sending a message to our team or joining a Discord community, or buttons for deleting your current workflow or logging out when you're done. Next, let's go over the Add Node menu inside the round plus button. Here you can see all the available nodes you can add in the following categories: triggers, action nodes, data processing, flow control, and human in the loop. You will notice the nodes are broken down by their use case and their primary application. One can access the Add Node menu also by dragging an input or an output connection to anywhere on the canvas from a node. In the bottom left of the canvas is the Editor Viewer Selector. You can see options for looking at the canvas, executions, and JSON editor. The big green button in the middle that says Run Webflow will attempt to run your workflow from start to finish. In the bottom right corner of the canvas is the Webby Chat button. More on this in a bit. First, let's take a look at the node editor. You can access the node editor by double-clicking on any nodes on the canvas or pressing their cogwheel option button. This is the node editor screen. On this screen are all the specific values for the node you're changing. On the header, you will find the name of the node you're working on and its node type right below, as well as the reference slug for talking about it to the chat. On the right side of the header, you'll notice an estimate on how much it costs to run this node. On the right side of your screen, you will notice the data panel with input and output on the top. You can easily drag and drop input references for usage in the current node's logic. If at any point you want to copy one of the inputs or outputs, we put a handy copy button at the top of each one. And you can double click or press the I button to get an expanded view of each item. At the top of the data section, you'll notice the data toggle button. If at any point you wish to hide the panel, give this one a press. Now let's head over to the bottom right to the AI chat. Here is where we can prompt to make workflow upgrades. At the top, you will notice a context selection button. This allows you to let the chat know what node you want to work on. It will default to the currently selected node. Next is the model selector. This is where you can choose which AI chat model to use. Then in green is a credit estimate for using the chat. We have one more thing to take a look at, but when you're done, this is where you'll do most of your workflow cooking. Now we head over to the executions page. You can get there with the editor view drawer in the bottom left corner. Go ahead and select an execution and you will see an expanded view of the nodes that were run. You can select them individually and you can see what their outcome was. Thank you for joining me for today's episode of Flowdrop Basics. On our next one, we'll be making, testing, and upgrading our first workflow. For more Flowdrop related content, hit that subscribe button and catch the next video. Bye.